this one too. So, I hope nobody laughs at this one. I mean, I came here to drink like the rest of you and not think about anything too deep. So I'm sorry. But I think we all need this story. I think maybe the first 20 or so interviews were the hardest, emotionally. You listen as people tell you a continuous story of suffering, and the reality is that for many there is no light at the end of the tunnel, no real hope for the future. For the first dozen or so, you tear up easier. Your stomach turns quicker, your imagination strains to relate to and envision the scale of suffering. Every day this week, I went home drained. Some ask you to help them, and you can't. Some thank you for just listening. Some are angry that the little help that was there in the beginning is now gone, and they want to know why. Your image of the Syrian refugee broadens to include mothers of 7-year-old autistic boys, grandfathers bearing the weight of murdered children and grandchildren, knowing that they're all that's left of a once happy and growing family. Young men running from conscription because they don't want to kill. Daughters orphaned, raped, and tortured. The next dozen or so interviews begin to blur. You have to make an effort to remember if you've asked a question before. You're tired because you can't sleep as well. At night, you lie on a hard mattress in a warm room listening to a loud, chaotic city outside, just thinking and remembering. You've been transcribing interviews, so you've heard each story twice in detail. You know the pauses in the recordings are when people are too choked up to keep talking. You hear the loud bang of a door closing on the recording and remember seeing the woman's young daughter jump and start shaking. You wake up not remembering when you fell asleep or for how long. Then you go back to work. The last interviews you feel worn out. Your mind wants to detach emotion from the work, to be desensitized, to tell itself that it's heard the story and seen those scars before. When somebody starts crying, it feels more like a challenge of patience than of fighting back your own tears. You still clench your jaw, and as if bracing for something, but the blow that you feel to your heart feels weaker. During a break, you find yourself pacing and angry with yourself. You don't want to be emotionless, cold. You know that these people want to talk to a human, someone that feels and empathizes. How do you compromise? You've worked to compartmentalize and process your feelings, your secondhand hurt, and to remain open is to leave yourself vulnerable to more heartache. The last interview is the longest, literally and emotionally. A university-educated woman, 5 years younger than yourself. You've studied her world from an air-conditioned classroom. She's a number on a page to you until now. Her education has been so much more visceral than yours. It makes you question the real value of a textbook on conflict or on refugees. The interview is over. The interviews are over. You take a breath, make a joke about Mansaf and with your translator, and then you go home. The ride back, you weigh the merit of guilt. Should I feel guilty that I have a sense of relief now? As if I had to endure anything near the scale of those I talk to? You tell yourself that your feelings are natural, unavoidable. Judging a feeling as unjust is wasted effort. The bigger injustice is to not feel or to forget. I got home today and just slept. My dreams lasted for days in my mind, not good dreams. I don't know if I was sweating because of the dreams or the heat. It doesn't matter. Take a shower. Hope there's enough water to take a shower. I need French fries, something to make me feel like I'm home again. Now I'm sitting at a table alone in the corner of a poor excuse for a KFC. It's foreign, It's foreign still, but the setting is something familiar. I could pretend like Kate is only a second away, that she'll join me at the table and start stealing my fries once she grabs more ketchup, or whatever lie I can imagine to make myself chuckle. I'm more upset that they don't have biscuits and the fries suck than the fact that I saw torture scars on a 10-year-old boy. It's a different kind of upset. The former is surface level, petty, an outlet for built-up frustration, but it feels more intense in the moment. The latter stays with you, like a constant hum inside your chest. It joins a chorus of other feelings that will ebb and flow throughout your life as you forget and remember. I'll use that hum to drive me in life. It's energy, emotion, motivation. I tell myself that I'll make a difference, but I know that there's slack that will never be picked up and ground that will never be made up in the problems that have moved me to this point. It's been 5 years since the beginning of the Syrian civil war, and a generation of Syrians has already been lost and abandoned by the desultory efforts of the world. It feels like that cheapens the worth of my conviction. No matter my impact, I alone will not change things. That doesn't keep me from wanting to try. I'll define my life by my effort, even if others will define it by my impact. Thank you.